In today's video, I would like to talk about the build that let me kill Graveward in under 8 seconds. I've been getting a lot of questions on Twitter asking like what gear am I using, the skill tree I'm using, just everything all around it, and I figured I would show you in today's video. So starting off, I am using a level 26 sellout. This is solely just because to like light me on fire. It does incendiary damage and it also does splash damage, so I can easily just shoot the ground and I get lit on fire. So that's going to pair real well with my artifact, which I will talk about in a second. Now the next thing is the Hell Shock, which is the main part of the build. Molly One weapons actually just got a buff to do 25% more damage and I think 20% more fire rate, so that's really good for this thing. And what this does, after I use phase cast, my weapon damage is increased for 250% because it is anointed. And it is insane because literally it has a 30 mag, and with some skills I have, it goes up to 42 or like 39. It hovers around there depending on some things I use. So I get a ton of ammo in this thing and it shoots very quick. The class mod I'm using is the Stormbringer class mod, which gives me +3 in Tempest and +2 in Anima. I don't really need a legendary class mod because I've tried Phase Zerker, but it honestly is worse. The purple, like the epic class mod, is honestly a lot better when it comes to damage wise. And finally, for the artifact I'm using the elemental projector, which gives me 183% increase in damage, which is just nuts after I light myself with a certain element. So if I light myself on fire, I'm getting more incendiary damage, which pairs real well with the Hell Shot because it does incendiary damage. And plus, ever I pop phase cast, I get 250% more damage. Like it's insane. And the shield I'm using is the recharger, so every time my shield goes down, which it will be because I'm literally hurting myself, it immediately it gets reset. So basically I just have 2 shields in one, that's also crazy. It pairs real well. Now getting into the skill tree, I'm only going over like the main skills that I have. Obviously I'm using phase cast to proc the anointed, but for the main skills, you're going to be using Transcend to get your critical hit damage after you pop your phase cast. I'm using Laid Bare to get 25% debuff on whatever the phase cast hits, so I do 25% more damage. I'm also using Wrath, which is giving me 20% more gun damage and plus 20% even more after I pop phase cast. And then I'm actually using From Rest, which gives me 12% more fire rate and charge and 44% more charge speed, which is crazy for this Molly Wand pistol because obviously they have charge time and it already shoots very fast, so that just adds with it and it makes it insane. You've seen what it can do in the video. And then after that I'm using Anima, which actually goes really well with the sellout right here, because this actually is going to make the incendiary on me last longer as well, not only just on bosses, so I can actually get more DPS out over time because it's sticking on me for a lot longer. This also obviously helps with boss DPS too because you're doing a lot more damage, but I use it mainly to keep myself lit on fire. And then I'm using Tempest, which gives you an insane amount of more elemental damage. I know you get more shock damage, but you don't really need it for Graveward because he obviously is weak to incendiary, so that's what you want to use. Then I use Deep Well. It's just a 1-point skill. It gives you 20% more magazine for all your elemental weapons, and that's what is making this pistol. I have a ton of ammo in it. Instead of 30, I'm getting, let's see how much it is real quick. It's 36 more ammo. I'm getting 36 ammo. Like, that's actually crazy. And then after that, I'm using Personal Space, which is I'm getting 36% more gun damage the closer I am to the enemy. This somewhat helps the Graveward. It's not the greatest. It helps out a lot with other bosses, just to have that little extra amount of damage, but it's not something like you have to be too really focused on. But so this build, as you can see, has literally no health regeneration at all. Like this build is not something you should take into just general play. Like, it can kind of work if you have Soul Sap equipped, because that you get a little health back, but other than that, there's literally nothing that's regenerating your health. This is solely just for melting bosses, and it works real well for that purpose. But if you're trying to take this in a slaughterhouse or something, you're probably gonna be better off using another build. But if you're going for straight just farming bosses, trying to get some legendaries or whatever, this build will be very good. It will work out very well. Now there is some things you can do to make this even better. Like obviously I know the Lyuda is the best like DPS gun in the game. I just don't have an incendiary one yet. When I get one, I will definitely be using that, but this is the best I have for now. And also I like using it because it's a Maliwan weapon, and not really a lot of people are using Maliwan weapons. Like it's kind of a little niche thing that I'm using right here. But all in all, especially with the anointed, it works very, very well. But anyway, I hope you guys learned from this video, and I hope you can actually use it to farm some bosses, and maybe you can get some gear like this. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.